Get free gift cards, PayPal, and much more with feature points.
What's up guys, Commander Alex here, and today we're going to be playing some Vainglory, and I am going to be showing you guys Gwen. So obviously we don't have the perfect setup here. There's no face cam, there's no overlay, and there's really no me in this, but I am going to be showing you guys Gwen, just kind of going over her abilities, and then hopefully later tonight I'll get you guys a better edited video, and one that actually is hopefully a 3v3 gameplay, so that'll be pretty fun. Anyway, let's get into things here with Gwen. Difficulty easy, position lane, role sniper. She moves quickly and she can shake off negative effects. Her heroic perk is Boomstick. After not attacking for 1.6 seconds, Gwen's next basic attack does 30 to 120 plus 40% bonus weapon power, additional damage. Attack speed reduces the time before the empowered attack becomes available. So basically, if you don't attack, you get this empowered attack, and if you build more attack speed, that empowered attack will come up more often. If you build more weapon power, that empowered attack will deal more damage. So that's kind of how that works. Moving on here, we have Buckshot Bonanza. Her A, Gwen blasts enemies in the target direction, damaging all targets in a cone. Enemies hit by this ability are slowed and revealed for 2 seconds. Has really good CP scaling for damage, and it has some weapon power scaling, but if you're looking to go CP, this is kind of where you're going to be doing it, just because it does so much damage. If you go CP, it does some crazy AoE damage. Moving on here, we got Skedaddle. When activated, Gwen instantly removes negative effects from herself and blocks further effects for 0.5 seconds. Additionally, she gains a temporary burst of move speed. Passively, Gwen gains 0.1 move speed bonus, and this effect is disabled for 4 seconds upon taking damage from an enemy hero, but it is otherwise permanent. So basically, if you're not going to be being attacked, then you're going to be moving very quickly, especially if you have boots on top of this. Once you get attacked, you lose that move speed bonus, but you can activate this to block negative effects. So that means if you activate it before a stun, the stun will not land. If you activate it, while you're being slowed, it will remove the slow from you. Anything that doesn't silence you, you can still activate this ability during that time. If something silences you, you have to activate it before it silenced you for it to kind of go off, right? Because if you're silenced, then you can't use the ability to remove the silence, if that makes sense. So it's a really great ability, especially for if you're being ganked. You can pop it and it'll pretty much just screw over any type of gank. I haven't checked if it works with displace abilities like Glaive's Punt or Finn's Pull, but if it does, that could be very useful. Anyway, moving on here, we have our ultimate. Ace is high. Gwen pulls an ace from up her sleeve and flings it into the target direction. The card deals damage to everything it passes through. The ace impacts and stuns the first summoning hero in its path. Looking at the scalings, again, it has some weapon power scaling, but most of the scaling is CP there. And kind of what you're going to see is that she has some weapon power scaling on her abilities, but nothing too crazy. And most of her damage actually comes from her Boomstick, which obviously is going to be quite a bit of damage every 1.6 seconds. You have 40 bonus, so basically you're doing 140% weapon power plus whatever that little bit of extra is on top, depending on your level, and that's every 1.6 seconds. And if you get attack speed, it could be down to below a second. So if you're going to be doing most of your damage from your auto attacks, and specifically from your heroic perk. So let's hop into game here, locking her in. And I'll show you all the abilities, and then I'll just sort of talk about, possible build paths. Obviously, I've not played enough games in her to really say exactly what is the right build path with her, but I can say, what I found kind of works well, and kind of give you guys some suggestions. So we'll level up here real quick.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun. This dragon smile is the last thing you'll see.
We'll go not upgrading our...
I once wrote 8 seconds on a dragon.
Disabled by anything. Alright, so let's first start off with, let's start off with the abilities. So if you activate your B, you get some move speed, and slow down. You also see it activated there, so you can use that to block whatever's coming your way. For A, Buckshot.
Spurs aren't sneaky.
Here you see your gun glows when the passive is up. When she autos, it starts going again. See? So it's not that hard to have your passive up. And basically what you want to do for clearing your last setting is just kind of kite around until it goes back up. And you're good. Alright, so then finally here we have our ultimate. If there's a hero,
Let me show you the
stop at hero
sights.
and stun the hero, so that's kind of an important thing to note. And again, her buckshot does do AoE damage, so in team.
Look at what's about to be roadkill.
So now you guys have kind of seen all of her abilities here. I'll just sort of obviously you're going to be seeing plenty of Gwen because I'm going to be making tons of videos on her, and she's going to be coming into the fold pretty soon. So I'm not too worried about showing you guys her abilities. And you guys now know how they work, so let's talk about her build. So basically you have two paths you can go. You can go CP or weapon power. I highly suggest weapon power. I think it's much easier. Though CP can be useful, it can definitely deal quite a bit of damage.
Haven't had much reason to be scared of anyone yet.
Weapon power, personally, I really like to go for some just heavy straight weapon power. So Sorrow Blade's really good. I also think that Breaking Point is very good, and the reason that these two items work so well together is
Saddle up.
Passively, when she has her passive up, she does 140% weapon power. So basically, she does an extra 40% weapon power, which means that just straight weapon power is really good. Plus, that extra burst gives you stacking the breaking point really quickly against enemy heroes. You're going to be stacking at the breaking point incredibly quickly, and that attack at the breaking point lowers the cooldown on your passive. So just overall, that combo is really good. Another option is to go for Tension Bow in the early game. Now, the reason Tension Bow works is because you can proc Tension Bow on passive. It does deal quite a bit of damage, as you can see. Pretty much destroy anything. And I do like it in the early game, but as it gets to the late game, I feel that it's better to sell it for probably another Sorrow or something like that. Now, the other option that you have here is you can also go for some crit chance. If you're going for crit chance, I would probably leave off. Where am I going here? Leave off the Tension Bow, stay with the Breaking Point, and then go double Monocle and probably Sorrow. So what this does is give you 80% crit
I've got
chance,
some
which means that
scars.
you're pretty much
And
definitely
no,
gonna crit every time
I'm
you
not
use your
showing you.
passive.
Don't get fancy on me now.
5 times that you use your passive. But you crit that, and then that crit damage gives your Breaking Point even more power.
If there's no law around here, it'll have to be me.
Scaling. So this 4-item combo here for weapon power is very strong in her, and that's what I would tend to build late game. Other than that, you're probably going to want to go for Journey Boots. You can go for Halcyon Chargers if you want, just because she does use energy sometimes, but I would probably say go for the Journey Boots, because that paired with her Skedaddle and then probably one defensive item, whatever that item is that you want. Alright, so
Mining has begun.
Get a pot of gold here and get some more gold. And now let's look at CP. So for CP, she has some really good scaling.
Spurs
200%
aren't
on
sneaky.
abilities. So again, you're going to be running to start with just probably a Shatter Glass. You have a couple other options. You can go Frostburn, which does turn your Buckshot Bonanza, I believe that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Buckshot Bonanza into an AoE slow, which is obviously very good. So that's another option. You can go for Clockwork, and the reason I would consider going for Clockwork is because it brings this.
I should buy a boat.
All
right, gang. Move on out.
But if you have enough cooldown, you can probably get to use.
Line up so I don't waste bullets.
Least fight, I would say, and then once you have that up, that's really useful because you can block all sorts of stuff with it, right? So really consider going for some cooldown. Plus, if you're building so much base CP, the percent extra CP from the Clockwork is very useful. Another option would be Aftershock. This synergizes well with
I once wrote 8 seconds on a dragon.
We get the action, and then that paired with the.
Look at what's about to be roadkill.
Kind of interesting build where you can go Tension Bow Aftershock. It's fun and it can be good, but it definitely falls off because the passive scales off of base weapon power. So unless you're building a lot of weapon power after that, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Alternating Currents, another option, because attack speed lowers the passive. It does allow you to have your passive up more often, but you're going
Circle
to
the
really
wagons.
relying on your passive that often. So unless you're current, I wouldn't really recommend it, but you know, it's an option. Does a good bit of damage, and then past that, you know, probably just Halcyon Chargers because you're using your abilities so often, and a defensive item, whatever that may be for the game. So that's kind of the builds that you can look at. Obviously, these are very flexible, but she has really good CP scalings, you know, over 200% for a lot of abilities. So just straight CP is going to be really strong in her. You don't need a lot of like extra weird things that are gonna kind of make her abilities do more than they actually do. You just
Saddle up!
Just straight CP. So Shadow Glass, Frostburn, Clockwork, Broken Myth, those are all just gonna be really strong items on her that are just gonna really make her abilities do a lot of damage. For weapon power, you have obviously your passive that scales extra weapon powers, so having straight weapon power is very good. And then also attack speed to lower that cooldown is very good. So, Tension Bow in the early game to synergize with it is good. Breaking Point,
I don't bother for less than 100.
Make that damage scale insanely. And then also crit chance, because, crit chance just obviously goes well with the Breaking Point. So that's about all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Just a quick little look at Gwen. And then tonight when I actually get back and can record like a legit 3v3 gameplay with a face cam and then overlay and all that stuff, you guys will get to see her in action. So hopefully you're excited for that, and that's all I got for you guys today. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.